Have you ever looked up at the night sky? You see stars, you might see planets. One of these planets is Mercury. It is a small world. Many people do not know much about it. It is often hidden by the sun's bright light. But Mercury is very interesting. It is a planet full of big surprises. It tells us a lot about our solar system. We are still learning new things about it all the time. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system. It is also the fastest. It zips around the sun very quickly. Imagine a tiny car racing on a giant track. That is like Mercury. It moves faster than any other planet. This speedy journey makes its year very short. It is a world of wonder. It challenges what we thought we knew. It shows us that even small things can be amazing. This little planet is a place of extremes. It can be super hot. It can also be super cold. Think about the hottest desert you know. Then think about the coldest ice. Mercury can be both. Its surface has seen a lot. It is covered in craters from long ago. These craters tell stories. They are like scars from ancient battles in space. We are like detectives looking for clues. So, let's explore Mercury together. We will look at where it is. We will see how big it is. We will find out what makes it so special. Mercury might be small, but its story is big. It is a key piece of our solar system puzzle. Understanding Mercury helps us understand our place in the universe. It is a journey to a world very different from our own. Are you ready to explore? Mercury holds a very special place in our solar system. It is the planet closest to the sun. Think of the sun as a giant bonfire. Mercury is like the marshmallow closest to the fire. This means it gets a lot of heat. It also gets a lot of strong sunlight. No other planet lives this close to our star. This nearness to the sun shapes everything about Mercury. It affects its temperature. It affects its surface. It even affects how it moves. Being so close to the sun makes Mercury a very tough place. The sun's gravity is very strong there. This strong pull makes it hard for spacecraft to visit Mercury. The sun also sends out powerful solar winds. These are streams of tiny particles. Mercury is hit by these winds all the time. It has to endure this constant blast. This makes Mercury a good place to study the sun's power. We can learn how the sun affects planets nearby. Mercury is one of the 4 rocky planets in our solar system. These are also called terrestrial planets. Earth is a rocky planet too. So are Venus and Mars. This means Mercury has a solid surface. You could stand on it if you could survive the heat. These rocky planets are different from the gas giants. Jupiter and Saturn are gas giants. They are mostly made of gas. Mercury is made of rock and metal, like our own Earth. Its position so close to the sun means Mercury has a short year. A year is how long it takes a planet to go around the sun once. Mercury races around the sun in only 88 Earth days. That is very fast. Our Earth takes 365 days to make the same trip. So if you lived on Mercury, you would have a birthday every 88 days. That would be a lot of birthday cake. This quick journey is one of Mercury's most famous features. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system. It is really tiny compared to giants like Jupiter. It is even smaller than Earth. If Earth were a basketball, Mercury would be like a golf ball. This small size might make you think it is not important. But that is not true. Even small things in space can tell us big secrets. Mercury is full of them. Its smallness is part of what makes it so interesting to study. How small is it? Mercury is about 4,879 kilometers wide. That is its diameter. This is smaller than some of the biggest moons in our solar system. Jupiter's moon Ganymede is bigger. Saturn's moon Titan is also bigger. It is quite strange to think a planet can be smaller than a moon, but planets are defined by orbiting the sun. Moons orbit planets. Mercury clearly orbits our sun, so it is definitely a planet even if it's a small one. Mercury is a dense little world. It is made mostly of rock and metal. Scientists think it has a very large iron core. This core might make up a big part of the planet's inside. Imagine an apple with a very big seed in the middle. Mercury is a bit like that. This large core is a puzzle. How did such a small planet get such a big core? This is one of the questions scientists are trying to answer. It tells us about how planets were made. Even though it is small, Mercury is still round like a ball. This is because of gravity. Gravity pulls everything towards the center. For big things like planets, this pull makes them spherical. Mercury is not perfectly smooth though. Its surface is covered in craters. It also has long cliffs called scarps. These features tell us about Mercury's past. They show it has shrunk a little as it cooled down over billions of years. This makes its surface look wrinkled in places. Mercury is a planet of many strange things. One of the weirdest things is its giant iron core. This core is huge compared to the planet's size. It makes up about 60% of Mercury's total mass. For Earth, the core is only about 17% of its mass. Why is Mercury's core so big? One idea is that a giant impact long ago blasted away much of its outer rocky layers. This left behind a planet that is mostly core. It is a cosmic mystery. Another weird thing is Mercury's day and year. Mercury spins very slowly on its axis. One full spin or one Mercury day takes about 59 Earth days, but it orbits the Sun very quickly. One Mercury year is only about 88 Earth days. This creates a strange situation. For every 2 times Mercury orbits the Sun, it spins on its axis exactly 3 times. This is called a 3-to-2 spin-orbit resonance. It means a single solar day on Mercury from one sunrise to the next lasts for 176 Earth days. That is 2 full Mercury years. This strange dance of day and year leads to very long periods of sunshine and very long periods of darkness. Imagine the sun slowly crawling across the sky for months. Then it would slowly set, leading to months of night. This slow rotation and quick orbit also means that if you stood on Mercury, you might see the sun briefly rise, then set, then rise again. This is because its speed around the sun can sometimes be faster than its rotation speed. How strange is that? Perhaps the most surprising feature for such a small planet is its magnetic field. Earth has a strong magnetic field. It protects us from harmful solar radiation. Scientists thought small planets like Mercury would have lost their magnetic fields long ago. This is because their cores should have cooled and solidified. But Mercury has one. It is weak, about 1% as strong as Earth's, but it is there. This tells us that part of Mercury's big iron core might still be molten and moving. It is another puzzle for us to solve. Section 5. Hot days, cold nights, a planet of extremes. Mercury is a world of extreme temperatures. It swings wildly between very hot and very cold. The side of Mercury facing the sun gets incredibly hot. Temperatures there can reach about 430 degrees Celsius. That is more than 800 degrees Fahrenheit. This is hot enough to melt lead. It is hotter than your oven at home, even on its highest setting. You would not want to have a picnic on the sunny side of Mercury. It is one of the hottest places in the solar system. But the story changes completely on the night side. The side of Mercury facing away from the sun gets extremely cold. Temperatures can drop to about minus 180 degrees Celsius. That is around minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit. This is colder than the coldest places on Earth. So, while one side of Mercury is baking, the other side is in a deep freeze. This huge difference in temperature between day and night is one of the largest for any planet. It is truly a world of contrast. Why does Mercury have these crazy temperature swings? It is mainly because it has almost no atmosphere. Earth has an atmosphere. Our atmosphere acts like a blanket. It traps heat and spreads it around. This keeps our nights from getting too cold. It also protects us from getting too hot during the day. Mercury does not have this helpful blanket, so the heat from the sun quickly escapes into space when night falls. There is nothing to hold it in. Interestingly, even though Mercury is so hot, scientists have found ice there. Yes, ice on the hottest planet. This ice is not on the surface in the sunlight, it is hidden in deep craters near Mercury's poles. These craters are always in shadow. The sun's rays never reach the bottom of these craters, so they stay incredibly cold all the time. This allows ice to exist there, protected from the sun's heat. This discovery was a big surprise. It shows Mercury is full of secrets. Section 6. A barely there sky. Mercury's thin air. When we think of a sky, we think of Earth's blue sky. We think of clouds and weather. Mercury does not have a sky like ours. It has almost no air at all. Its atmosphere is extremely thin. It is so thin that scientists do not usually call it an atmosphere. They call it an exosphere. An exosphere is the very outermost layer of an atmosphere. On Mercury, it is pretty much all there is. It is more like a vacuum than the air we breathe. This exosphere is made of different kinds of atoms. These atoms come from Mercury's surface. Tiny particles from the sun called the solar wind hit Mercury's surface. Space rocks called micrometeoroids also hit the surface. These impacts knock atoms off the ground. These atoms then float around for a little while. They form the exosphere. Some of these atoms are sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. But there are very few of them. Because Mercury has such a thin exosphere, it cannot trap heat. This is why the planet has such extreme temperatures. There is no blanket to keep the night side warm. There is also no protection from the sun's harmful rays. The sky on Mercury would look black even during the day. This is like the sky seen by astronauts on the moon. You would be able to see stars during the daytime. There is not enough air to scatter sunlight and make the sky look blue. Life as we know it cannot exist on Mercury. We need air to breathe. We need protection from the sun. Mercury offers neither of these things. The lack of a thick atmosphere also means there is no wind, there is no rain, there is no weather like we have on Earth. The surface of Mercury is a silent, still place. Except for the constant bombardment of tiny space rocks, it is a harsh and empty environment, very different from our lively Earth. Section 7. Looking closer. Space trips to Mercury. Sending spacecraft to Mercury is very difficult. It might seem easy because Mercury is not too far from Earth. But the sun's powerful gravity makes it tricky. When a spacecraft gets close to the sun pulls it in very hard. The spacecraft speeds up a lot. To go into orbit around Mercury, the spacecraft needs to slow down. This takes a lot of fuel. It also takes very clever planning by scientists and engineers. It is a real challenge. Despite the difficulties, humans have sent a few robotic explorers to Mercury. The first one was NASA's Mariner 10 mission. Mariner 10 flew past Mercury 3 times in 1974 and 1975. It took the first close-up pictures of the planet. These pictures showed a world covered in craters. It looked a lot like our moon. Mariner 10 mapped about half of Mercury's surface. It also discovered Mercury's weak magnetic field. This was a big surprise. For many years, Mariner 10 was our only visitor to Mercury. Then much later, NASA sent another mission. This was called Messenger. Messenger stands for Mercury Surface, Space Environment, Geochemistry and Ranging. That is a long name. Messenger launched in 2004. It arrived at Mercury in 2011. It was the first spacecraft to orbit Mercury. This allowed it to study the whole planet in great detail. It sent back amazing data for 4 years. Messenger taught us so much more about this little world. It mapped the entire surface. It confirmed the presence of water ice and shadowy craters. It helped us understand Mercury's strange chemistry. It studied its magnetic field and its thin exosphere. Messenger's mission ended in 2015 when it ran out of fuel. It crashed into Mercury as planned. Now, there is a new mission called Bepi Colombo. It is a joint mission by Europe and Japan. It will teach us even more secrets about Mercury. Section 8. Why this little planet matters to us. You might wonder why we spend so much time and money studying a small, hot planet. Why does Mercury matter? Well, studying Mercury helps us understand how planets form, especially planets that are very close to their stars. Our solar system is not the only one. There are billions of other stars in our galaxy. Many of these stars have planets. Some of these planets, called exoplanets, are close to their stars, like Mercury. By studying Mercury, we learn about the conditions these exoplanets might face. Mercury is like a natural laboratory. It shows us what happens to a planet that is constantly baked by its star. It shows us how a planet can hold on to a magnetic field. It helps us test our ideas about planet formation. Did Mercury form where it is now, or did it form farther out and move closer to the sun? These are big questions. Mercury holds some of the answers. Mercury also tells us about the early history of our own solar system. The solar system was a very different place billions of years ago. It was full of dust and gas. Planets were just starting to form. Mercury's surface is very old. It has not changed much over billions of years. This is because it has no weather and little geological activity to erase old features. So, the craters and plains on Mercury are like a history book. They record events from the solar system's youth. Understanding Mercury's huge iron core is also very important. Why is it so big? Did Mercury lose its outer layers in a giant crash? If so, this tells us that the early solar system was a violent place. Planets might have crashed into each other often. Learning about this helps us understand how Earth and other planets became what they are today. Every piece of the puzzle helps us see the bigger picture. Mercury is a crucial piece of that puzzle. Its unique features provide clues we cannot get anywhere else. Section 9. Mercury, a key to solar system secrets. Mercury may be the smallest planet, it may be a harsh world of fire and ice, but it is incredibly important. It holds keys to unlocking many secrets of our solar system. Its strange features push us to ask new questions. They challenge our understanding of how planets work. Every new discovery about Mercury adds a new piece to the giant cosmic puzzle. It helps us understand not just Mercury but all planets, including our own Earth. This tiny, fast-moving world is a survivor. It has endured billions of years of intense heat. It has been bombarded by asteroids and comets. Yet it still orbits our sun. It still has its surprising magnetic field. It still hides water ice in its shadows. Mercury teaches us about resilience in the face of extreme conditions. It shows us that even the most unlikely places can hold fascinating surprises. It reminds us that the universe is full of wonder. The ongoing study of Mercury is vital. Missions like Bepi Colombo will continue to gather data. Scientists will analyze this data for years to come. They will uncover more of Mercury's hidden truths. This knowledge will help us refine our models of planetary formation and evolution. It will help us understand the conditions that might exist on planets orbiting other stars. It could even help us understand the conditions needed for life to arise elsewhere. So the next time you think about the planets, remember Mercury. Do not let its small size fool you. This little world plays a big role in our quest for knowledge. It is a testament to the complexity and beauty of the cosmos. Mercury is more than just a hot rock close to the sun. It is a dynamic and mysterious world. It is a frontier of exploration, and it is waiting for us to uncover all its secrets. The universe is calling, and Mercury is one of its most intriguing voices.